Today we're going to be interviewing Dan Watkins of New Jersey Hemp Farmer, of course. Hey, how are you? Let's see. All right, he's coming up. It always takes a little while to join. Hey, the Cushness, how are you? Hey, what's going on?
Hey, hey, hey. You see me?
Hey, what's going on, Dan Watkins? Can you see me?
I can. How you doing?
Okay. Okay, sorry. Is it a little noisy at all?
I hear the fans, but it's all good.
That's awesome. Well, welcome. Thank you for being here. Welcome to ETC Everything Cannabis.
All right. Everything
So
ETC Entertainment Cannabis.
entertainment. Yes.
That's right.
We did talk about that, didn't we?
We did.
So today, guess what? I have my Puffco.
Uh-oh. I love Puffco.
What? And I have it's a little live rosin. This is
All right.
sour sorbetto.
Ooh, very nice.
Right? So
I
it's cold.
have.
What do you have?
Sorry, go ahead, you were saying?
No, it's cold cured. That's all. That's all I was gonna say.
All right, cool. Let's see. I can't see myself here. There we go. How did I do
Right?
that?
The cushion said, "Oh, looking gooey."
So I have the New Jersey Grow Works.
Ooh.
All right, this is some
Okay.
hemp.
Let's see what Jersey's working with. Let's see what
I think you can see it here.
kind of flower Jersey. Oh, gross.
This
Ooh.
flower, if you saw it, you saw it come out of the farm.
Mm-hmm.
Better than most block work you might find around out there.
Definitely.
And,
I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that looks good.
and then another shout out, just the container for F3 Flower RX. These guys are the
Nice.
best flower. My partner's best flower, hemp flower on the East Coast, but it comes from Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
We got some.
It comes from Oregon. Nice.
It comes from Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon's always doing something fly. Oregon always
something fly. Yeah, we like their genetics out here too. So, yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, I know that we had you like your trees from the West Coast. I know that's right. Always good. But we have to start getting out of that though. I will say. I mean, there's good cannabis that's grown everywhere.
Because
That's my goal.
you're gonna find. I mean, it's kind of like food, right? You could transplant things around.
Yep.
The genetics normally work better in the natural environment, but that's the whole trick. The whole secret of good genetics and good cultivation is to emulate that same environment so that the plants kind of feel at home. But then at the same time, like I like a lot of Jamaican strains. They're more like pure sativa, less mixed. They take forever to grow, right? So like the lamb's breath, one of my favorites. Sometimes people call lamb's breath. What Bob used to smoke. We try to get that up here in the north. And it took like a good 6 months before we started getting some flower, but it takes its time. But then it was a big push, right? So we were happy with that.
I like your Jets shirt. Shout out to Jersey.
Right? Come on, you gotta go green.
What? Go
New
green,
York
the
Jets,
Garden
even though they
State.
play in Jersey, most people don't know. The New York Giants and the New York Jets are in Jersey. Jersey went green before New York. New York just went green.
New York just went green. I was going to say New York just went green.
New York just went green.
Congratulations to New York too for going green, for finally legalizing it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
They decriminalized it first, which is something
awesome.
Jersey did later. This whole legalization thing is kind of difficult to follow because legalization to me just means regulated, where it's not really legal. Decriminalization is the key.
Yeah,
it's decriminalized, then anybody can do anything they want to do with their own medicine.
True. True. Let's get the people that got locked up out.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen. In the legal business, anyway, you got locked up. I mean, there's some equity programs and things like that out there. California's been leading the way, especially in Oakland. They did a really good job years ago, 6-7 years ago, with an equity program. There's not a lot of money in it. I tell people, go into, if you like the plant, you like to grow, you like the medicine, you like the fun, learn to grow everything. You know?
Yes. And we talked about that too, right? So, okay, not only are you in Green Cell CBD, okay, so tell us about that. Tell us how you got, because you started off and you said sales, correct? Business.
Oh, me, my career?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm well, I studied biology, so I'm a biologist by education, but there's no money in that either. Not that it matters where the money's at. But I grew up near New York. I grew up from New York, born in New York City, and the Bronx, big uptown, BX, and you grew up in Jersey, right across the river from New York. So my mom used to tell me, you know, you want to make money, you should work with money. And there's two things in New York: fashion or entertainment, and Wall Street. And you'd be surprised half the people on Wall Street are, you know, local people from the area. You know, you see all these movies, act like, you know, some alien rich white guy running Wall Street. Nah, it's a bunch of guys from Brooklyn, the Bronx, and, you know, the Caribbean, all over. Everybody from New York works on Wall Street. So I spent about 20 years on Wall Street, and international banking, which is a little bit different than Wall Street. International banking is more about how countries trade things back and forth. And you know, as I getting a little bit older now, 20 years in the business, I'm traveling around the world. Everybody wants to trade with America. I'm like, what are we trading? We're trading agriculture. How can I not think of that?
Yeah.
Right. You know, I was talking to somebody else, you know, a few weeks ago. It's like the country was built on agriculture. When you think about it, cotton. You know, and unfortunately, plantations and slave, all that stuff, and a lot of people didn't work, whether they were white or black. If they were black, a lot of people were slaves. But if they were white, they didn't work either, because a few people made all this money with the cotton trade. But cotton was gold back then.
Yeah.
And,
well, yeah, of course, because everything was being made out of cotton.
And it's a flower. We still grow cotton, right? But you know, when I started the cannabis business, I've always been in the cannabis business. So I'm, you know, 33 years and going.
Wow.
I'm only 46 though, so I didn't tell you a lot about cannabis.
Right.
You know, so you talk about the 90s, where I grew up in the crack era. You know, cannabis was out there, and I think it helped people get away from crack. Honestly, as it started coming out a little bit more, started getting a little cool. But it was different too. You know, it was like 12% THC if you're lucky.
Yeah, that was very low. Yet we thought it was very high.
Yeah. Oh, it was even half that. We were just talking about what Bob Marley smokes. You know, the last breath, shit, 72, 73. He was lucky if he had 7% THC. That was back then, so it doubled from the 70s to the 90s, and now we're talking about 25% THC out of the plant. But and a lot of things happened, you know, from the 70s to the 90s, including the discovery of the endocannabinoid system. And as we discovered things in the body, cultivators were doing things for the brain, right? So we're all based on cannabis now, all about the THC, because we want to feel the high. But what people don't realize is that the higher the THC in the plant, the lower everything else. Everything has a ratio, you know? So that's where hemp got confusing, because they're like, there's no THC in it. I'm like, well, what is it? Sativa. But that's the same plant. Duh. See, sativa. What difference does it make if it has THC? It's still cannabis, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So now, you know, probably like around 2017, Jersey went medical in 2014. And, you know, they called it medical. And a lot of people don't know that Jersey's you know, you're from Jersey. Jersey's the pharmaceutical capital of the world.
Yep.
Every major pharmaceutical company that operates not only in the U.S. is headquartered in New Jersey, right around Rutgers. So if you know Rutgers University, one of the actually Rutgers is in the top 10 best agricultural universities in the country as well. New Jersey used to lead in agriculture, and we lead in pharmaceutical. Isn't that funny? And I started looking at these companies.
He said Dirty Jersey.
Dirty Jersey. Yeah. It's not just the turnpike, by the way. We are the Garden
right.
State.
It's not just the New Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah. And listen, if you're in Iowa or Idaho, you know Rutgers is up there. Come to Jersey to learn how to farm, but you ain't gonna farm that much in Jersey because
it's the Garden State for a reason.
It's the Garden State for a reason. It's for a reason. I mean, we were one of the first 13 states, so you could see how people came over, especially from Ireland and, you know, Italy.
Yeah.
And they brought cultivation strategy over here. Like I heard this thing the other day from somebody at Rutgers that we should be the potato capital of the country. How is that possible?
Yeah,
And they weren't really talking about the amount of potatoes we were growing.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about the genetics of potatoes. In other words, New Jersey showed how to grow potatoes in a certain way that doesn't get not blight, but other things in the soil the way they had in Ireland during the Black Plague.
Yeah.
Duh. That's why all the Irish came over here. They couldn't eat because they had problems growing potatoes because of the environment in Ireland. And it had nothing to do with pollution or global warming. Ireland is very wet.
Yeah.
So wetness and dampness is you would think is good for plants. California is the best. California grows everything the best in the world. It doesn't rain.
Because you can control your own water.
You can control the water, or you water the roots, like you do in a greenhouse. You water the roots. You don't water the leaves, right? You put something outside in Jersey,